Today on SAU News, a Southern Village resident shares her healing journey after being hit by a car while walking to class.
The campus reacts to a transgender student being placed on administrative leave from her job after coming out.
These stories and more coming up.
SAU News starts now.
Welcome to SAU News. I'm Josue Vega.
And I'm Elise Deschamps. Our weekly newscast is brought to you by the School of Journalism and Communication.
A social work major is still suffering from injuries after she was struck by a car last semester on her way to class. Reporter Christine Magnuson shares her inspiring comeback in this survivor story.
It was 8 o'clock on an icy November morning on the road between Southern Village and the CA Elementary School. Jenny Pontarelli was in the crosswalk when she was suddenly struck to the ground by a car.
Everything happened so fast. So I'm on the floor, I can't move. There's a lot of people around me telling me don't move. And I'm like, I need to call my friend. I need to tell my friend, I need to tell my friend. So I grabbed the phone and I'm FaceTiming her. And when I saw the blood, I was like, ooh, this is bad.
The school zone lights were flashing when Jenny crossed this street to go to class. She got hit on her left hip and thankfully can still walk. But 3 months later, it's not paralysis in her legs that keep her from using this route, but the paralyzing fear that she'll get hit again. She had a concussion and fractured her pelvis, making her unable to walk. In the hospital, she met her brother.
The first thing I said was I didn't see the car. I didn't see the car, and then Jorge was like, my mom is on the phone. And I just kept crying, telling I didn't see the car. Because I just felt so bad and guilty. I'm like, now my family's gonna have to go through all this when we already have so much going on.
Currently, her legs still hurt, but she can walk again. But she still feels dizzy at times.
I couldn't laugh for a good 3-4 weeks of the pain. I couldn't laugh, I couldn't cry, couldn't sneeze. Everything was so painful.
Even so, she used humor as a way to remain calm.
I'm pretty sure it's just a coping mechanism because I was freaking out. And I wanted to act as calm as possible, especially since my baby brother was there with me.
Now Jenny relies on friends for rides to class to avoid anxiety. She's now accustomed to body aches, but still works for the Student Success Center as she finishes her senior year. For SAU News, I'm Christine Magnuson.
To prevent another accident, Jenny is creating a petition for SA Senate to have someone direct traffic during the morning rush hour.
Work continues on the sidewalk near Thatcher Hall. When work started in December with the remodeling of Wright Hall's entrance, most thought that the work would end there. However, plant service workers and outside contractors continue construction on the washed-out hill next to Thatcher Hall. The hill is hard to maintain in its current state and will be landscaped for ease of maintenance. Currently, the first step of this project is placing retaining walls along the stairs. Work should continue for another 2 months.
That's great. I've been kind of wondering what was going on there, but it's good to hear that it'll end soon.
Right.
One of the crown jewels on Southern's 1,000-acre campus is the network of trails on White Oak Mountain. It attracts bikers, walkers, and as Noah Bynum reports, a 6K race for trail runners.
To the sounds of country music, more than 20 students and community members gathered outside Hickman Science Center for the start of the Southern 6 Trail Race. It's an annual event of the Southern Striders Club where contestants compete for prizes as they race along Dogwood Trail, one of the many routes on Southern's biology trails.
Go!
With the go signal from Health and Wellness Dean Robert Benge, the contestants were off. While the contestants were on the trail, staff set up a large digital timer for spectators. I'm here at the end of Dogwood Trail, and looks like some of our racers are coming up right now.
Can we keep going?
Yep, all the way down to the end. You guys are doing great. People are putting in a lot of energy into this, and in all honesty, it's impressive. Contestants finished the race to the cheers of the crowd. The top 3 in each gender bracket won prizes, and top place finishers each won $100. With the top male finishing the race in 23 minutes and the top female clocking in at a little over 28 minutes.
Medals. Everybody gets a medal for
John Kent came in first place.
I'm feeling good. It's a great sunny day. It's always fun to run on the bio trails. So it's nice to just hang out with people too.
While John ended his day $100 richer, all contestants received a trail run medal. For SAU News, I'm Noah Bynum.
Southern Striders Club has posted all finish times at their website.
On Tuesday, February 22nd, the final Student Association press conference was held. The unopposed candidates for President and Executive Vice President, Kenneth Bautista, Tet Mient, were answering questions as prompted by moderator Stephen Roof. They were joined on stage by Social Vice President candidates Erla Trevedin and Lily Jorgensen. Several students showed up to ask the candidates questions about the school mascot, the LGBTQ plus community, and what the first weeks in office would look like.
Coming up with a plan of how we want that mascot to be made, planning the second 4-2-3 nights, and creating more opportunities for entrepreneurs.
On Thursday, February 24, the election poll was first open to students. At the time of this broadcast, the final results are unknown.
SAU spotlights National Eating Disorder Awareness Week. Here at SAU News, we decided to collaborate, and thanks to my co-anchor, she was willing to share her personal journey.
Yes, please note the following story contains some triggering content, but it's an important subject that for me comes really close to home.
SAU News' own Elise Deschamps is a business entrepreneur, talk show host, and dedicated reporter. But this last week hit a particularly tender note with her. Growing up, Deschamps says she struggled with body dysmorphia, and in high school developed bulimia, an eating disorder that involves binging food followed by purging.
Things just would not line up, like the way that I viewed myself, the way that I saw myself in the mirror versus the way that other people would describe me. And I always just thought that they were lying to make me feel better.
Deschamps is not alone by any means. A Harvard report estimates that around 28.8 million Americans will have an eating disorder in their lifetime. Courtney Stoddard, a certified eating disorder dietitian working with focused treatment centers, talked to SAU News about common symptoms.
There are red flags that people can look out for, loved ones can look out for, such as large fluctuations in weight, restricting behavior, so starting to skip meals, and that becoming a little bit more progressive.
Last week at the Beat Center, SAU's Counseling Center collaborated with focused treatment centers to put together an exhibition encouraging peer awareness for National Eating Disorder Awareness Week. The special Heart Note exhibit was put together by graduate counseling assistant Kiana Oliver and Professor Tammy Navalon of the Graduate Professional Counseling Program. This is the original design with 2 hands hugging a heart. And so this is just a blown up version of that, coded together by small sticky notes where students can write encouraging messages to themselves and to their peers and just stick it right on. While eating disorders can be devastating, many people, including Elise Deschamps, have managed to overcome them and now live healthy, fulfilling lives. If you or someone you know is struggling with an eating disorder, please contact the numbers on the screen. There are trained professionals ready to assist you. And Elise, thank you so much for being brave enough to share your story. If you don't mind me asking, what is something that you would say to someone who is struggling with an eating disorder?
Well, for starters, I would probably tell them that they are beautiful and that their relationship with food and exercise is so important to fueling their body and their lifestyle, and finally that their value is not based on the way that they look. With resumes in hand, those looking for an internship had an opportunity to make connections and network at the Meet the Firms event. The event draws in those of every major, with booths promoting master's programs, healthcare system internships, and media production opportunities. Usually, the event is aimed towards business students and upperclassmen who are looking for work and internship experience. This semester, however, the event in Isles Gym offered a cultural convocation credit, bringing in a more diverse crowd from all over campus. Meet the Firms is held every semester, and attendance is often a requirement for certain classes.
You know, I actually did get to go to Meet the Firms this year, and I got to look at some pretty cool jobs.
Yeah, a local TV station, the news director was there, and I got to talk to him for a while. So.
You think you might get a job?
I sure hope so.
So, a hot topic on campus continues to be how Southern treats transgender students.
The issue exploded earlier this month when a transgender student was placed on administrative leave from her university job.
SAU News reporter Hal Moore has been getting reactions from students, and he joins us in the studio now. Welcome, Hal.
Thanks, guys.
Many students first heard about this on social media, then it was on the front page news in the Southern accent. What's happening now?
By request, we are identifying the student by their newly chosen name, Ari Bates. She remains on administrative leave with pay while the university administration continues to draft a sexual integrity policy that includes language on transgender students.
This winter started off as a normal semester for 20-year-old religious education major Ari Bates, until a rumor regarding a new policy at Southern convinced her to announce publicly that she was coming out as a transgender woman.
I recently came out as transgender.
This clip has more than 230,000 views on TikTok, but just days after this video, Ari was suspended from her working for Engage Ministries at the university's admissions office.
The Monday after that, I was basically threatened, or my job was threatened, basically saying that there was a policy that was about to go into effect, and if I didn't agree to follow that policy once it was implemented, I would be asked to resign. Following that, I was later put on administrative leave because of social media posts that I made out of frustration and fear of my job being threatened, and those were used against me. So I'm currently on leave indefinitely.
For the past 2 years, the university's Committee on Sexual Integrity have been drafting new policies that include how transgender students are to be treated on campus. The chair of that committee, Alan Parker, released this statement to SAU News. We recognize that this is a complex process that involves real people. Our policies are designed to offer compassion and care while remaining true to the love-based values and ideals of the Bible and the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Every student is valuable to us. We do care, and we want what is best for our students in every sense as they chart their journey into adult life. While this situation regarding transgender students is still in a state of uncertainty, it has sparked a lot of conversation around campus. Many students were reluctant to speak to us on camera, but a few shared their thoughts.
What do I think about having transgender students on campus? I honestly want to give them my most support. I definitely know a few of my friends that are part of the LGBTQ plus community, and I would treat them as I would a brother, sister, friend, best friend, etc.
I think that the dress code policies that they would apply towards transgender people and the whole bathroom situation, I don't think it's necessary, and I don't think they should pass that policy.
As this new policy for transgender students is still in development, tension is running high in the LGBTQ community here on campus. Ari hopes that by telling her story, she can encourage and help other people in situations like hers.
First of all, I want to tell queer students on campus that you're not alone. It's easy to feel scared and isolated, but if this situation has told me anything, it's told me that there are hundreds of people that are willing to go out on a limb for me, and they're willing to go out on a limb for you too.
As for Ari's future, university administrators say there are no plans to terminate her enrollment.
So Hal, we saw on social media that there were some posts that the student might file a lawsuit against the university. Where does that stand?
Great question. The trans advocate for the Tennessee chapter of the ACLU released a video saying that after looking at Ari's case, it does not rise to the level of a lawsuit, but they will continue to monitor the situation. The university is still taking the situation very seriously, and they are consulting their own legal counsel as they draft a new policy.
Thank you so much, Hal. This is a developing story, and SAU News will continue its coverage once the policy is unveiled by administration.
Students and people from the community are benefiting from free groceries at Thatcher Hall. Since October of 2021, Dean Tisha Luby has been bringing groceries to the women's residency lobby every Friday. The food comes from Project Rescue, a growing ministry led by Carla Smith that feeds and clothes homeless people. During the days they are closed, Dean Luby and Mrs. Smith bring about $2,000 worth of food that would otherwise be wasted to the dormitory, where anyone in need can take up to 2 boxes of groceries.
Went back to Ms. Carla and said, hey, I have students who need stuff. Would I be able to take a little extra for them too? And she said, if you come here every Friday, I'll give you everything I have. And then that's how the whole thing started.
Although at first the food was only for the girls in Thatcher, as the weeks passed, this project has grown up, opening up to all students, staff, and the community in Collegedale.
The producers and cast of Ignite Live are creating another Saturday night entertainment show the first week of March. Co-host Aaron Patterson takes us behind the scenes and shares the sneak preview.
In November of last semester, Ignite's weekly show held their first live program with Alex Kendrick. Students and sponsors gathered together in Linwood Hall to welcome the esteemed guest. Several cultural and scholastic clubs joined together and participated in games here on this stage. These games included a lip sync competition, some physically demanding tasks, and a general trivia game. Com Club President Noah Bynum was among these brave candidates who participated in the lip sync battle, performing High Hopes by Panic at the Disco.
I was so close. Like, each team, like, first team was like 3.7, next team was 3.8, I got 3.9, but then the last team, oh goodness, they got like 3.12. Some people have talked to me, said it's because the band played for them too, but I won in my heart.
Director of movies such as Facing the Giants, War Room, and Courageous, Alex Kendrick brought a powerful message to further the theme of that night, trust in God. Ignite Live's Winter 2022 program will feature former NCAA and Harlem Globetrotter Melvin Adams as the special guest, along with J103's radio host, Bobby Daniels. Melvin, the self-proclaimed Christian Kevin Hart, is excited to visit Southern and participate in the night of fun that will ensue.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be all over the place, man. Like I said, I'm gonna be building relationships from the time they walk in to the time I get on that campus. I'm gonna be building relationships from the time till the time I leave. That's just who I am. This is not my job. This is what I love to do. My vocation is a vacation, baby.
Ignite Live's Winter 2022 program will be held on March 5th at 8 p.m. Do not show up here at Linwood Hall because no one will be here to greet you. This year's Ignite Live program will be held in Isles Gym to provide more space for more guests. For SAU News, I'm Aaron Patterson.
Ignite's team is busy this week finalizing scripts and setting the stage. Bring a friend and enjoy the show. I am actually a little bit biased towards this story.
Are you?
Because I am a co-host of Ignite Live.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Are you gonna go?
Absolutely.
You better.
I'm kind of involved a little bit as
All
well.
right.
So I'm super excited, and the guests that we're bringing, along with kind of the basketball theme, like super stoked.
Based off of how everything went last semester, I have high hopes for this one.
I see what you did there.
Anyways, SAU News is a production of the television and news production class here in Southern School of Journalism and Communication. I'm Elise Deschamps.
And I'm Josue Vega. Do you have a newsworthy story? Head over to our Instagram and send us a message at SAU_news.
Thank you so much for watching.